What's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and Comic-Con is going on this weekend, and there's been a lot of news coming out of the entertainment side of things. This is a bit more of kind of an interesting little piece of drama that's gone on because of Comic-Con and Hall H. So this morning, Warner Brothers held this 2-hour massive panel. They showed off Godzilla, King of the Monsters trailer, looked amazing. AQUAMAN, Wonder Woman footage, Lego Movie Part 2, or the second block, whatever it's called. They showed off like a bunch of cool, crazy stuff. But it really boiled down to one bit of controversy. And that, of course, is that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard appeared moments apart at WB's Comic-Con panel. And this has kind of sent lefty Twitter, the very pro-Me Too people, into a bit of a tizzy. Into a bit of a tussle, to a bit of an anger rage sort of thing as a result of this. And the reason why is because of, well, they had their failed marriage. But this is what the article says. It goes on to say here that during Warner Brothers' Hall H presentation, Johnny Depp made an appearance as his titular Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald's character, helping to debut the latest trailer for the upcoming fantasy film. Roughly an hour later, his ex-wife Amber Heard appeared at the convention to promote WB's AQUAMAN, which released its first trailer at the event. Now, in court documents, Heard accused Depp of physical abuse while they were married. She won a $7 million settlement in the divorce case, all of which she donated to charity. They settled the divorce in 2016 when she dismissed the claims. Now, that's the whole thing, is like they had a marriage. It did not go well. It ended very badly. She accused Johnny Depp of a lot of things, and one of them was being physically abusive, and one of those things was him being always drunk and him being very aggressive when being drunk. And she posted some videos that were kind of, in my opinion, when I saw the videos, they felt kind of, I don't want to say staged, but like almost like she directed him into where the videos are going to be shot. Like she had her phone out. It was pointing at like the cabinets where the wine was. She got him in the room. They got into a fight. He's like slamming the cupboards around looking for wine because he's clearly got problems. He's clearly an alcoholic, which is totally fine. I mean, not fine, I should say. But ultimately, what we've seen here is just a lot of that. And then people were using this as like, see, look how violent he is. Look how crazy he is. Look how over the top he is, and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, this was a marital problem, obviously. I don't agree with being drunk and acting that way, but it did feel like in order to gain public sympathy, Amber Heard kind of, well, pardon the pun, I guess, or terminology, she herded him into the right space in order to get the best footage, in order to maximize the damage that she could do. And of course, this has in fact bled out of that. Okay, they separated. This whole thing was settled in 2016, right? So we're talking 2 years ago this thing was said and done. So it's been 2 years. They've been broken up. 2 years, not a problem. So what ultimately would be the issue here? Well, again, it boils down to essentially the Me Too movement and that everyone's a victim, so to speak, because that's kind of what this particular reporter here, Dana Schwartz from Entertainment Weekly, has said. She tweeted out this morning, how does WB justify employing him when AQUAMAN stars Amber Heard? WB brought Johnny Depp on stage for Fantastic Beasts panel as a surprise, immediately preceding their AQUAMAN panel featuring Amber Heard. This makes me nauseous. Except that's not what happened. It wasn't immediately preceding the AQUAMAN panel. It not only went from Fantastic Beasts, I think, to like Godzilla. Then it went to like Wonder Woman and Shazam in the Lego Movie Part 2, and then it went to AQUAMAN. So it wasn't like they were all huddled backstage in the same room. It wasn't like they were all huddled in the green room at the back of Comic-Con. It was nothing like that at all. Like there's protocol to this. They cycle people in, they shuffle them in, they shuffle them out. They get them back in the cars, get them back to their hotel, or get them prepped for going and signing anything, get them prepped for going to the press room to have a conversation. No, usually you go to the press room and then they get them around, right? I've done press at Comic-Con for 18 years. So she should know how this stuff works out. This is what I'm talking about here. It's like, This Dana Schwartz is trying to push this Me Too narrative that Johnny Depp is a vicious, terrible monster. And obviously people are backing that up. You're like, how could they? The horror of Warner's. How could Warner's do it? How could Warner's even remotely bring them on stage together? And the whole point of that essentially is because they're promoting movies. Now, Now, when Me Too happened, when Me Too was when it first got going, first started rearing its ugly head, there was actually a pretty big movement from people online that were trying to take down and take out Johnny Depp as being Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 2. They were trying to get him fired. They were trying to get him removed from the movie, citing that particular video, that failed marriage, as the exact reason why they did it. And then you've got the director, I want to say David Yates. I could be wrong, but the director comes out and the director is like, no, he's been impeached the entire time we've worked with him. He's been nothing but courageous and nothing but very courteous and nice to people. He's been the perfect actor. Like, we can't say anything bad about him at all. And now this is in peak Me Too. So this isn't like, this is a time when if you were going to torpedo somebody's career and like you wanted to be on that right side of history, so to speak, this would be the time to like make those accusations and then react. Right, as we've seen with this James Gunn situation. But Warner's didn't. They didn't. They held their ground. J.K. Rowling came out, right? J.K. Rowling came out, and she was all like, nah, not a big deal. Like, it's fine. They're fine. He's fine. He's good. Like, they, you know, and look, I'm telling you, you want to tell me like a billionaire, like J.K. Rowling is going to give two shits about like, you know, making a little bit of waves for Warner's. Warner's is already in bed with her for multiple billions of dollars. They've been in bed with her for almost 2 decades now. They have a good relationship, and she's one that's going to speak her mind. And if this was a case of that, she would have spoke her mind. So as we can see, you've got people out there that are very much trying to push this agenda. They're very much trying to make it a big deal. They're very much trying to get Johnny Depp branded as this terrible person. What have we learned about Johnny Depp in the last few months? For one, it almost comes across like he's broke, right? It comes across like he's almost broke, like he's got no money. And he's in not necessarily like the best place physically. There's been photos of him recently where he just looks terrible, right? Like, this is a dude that clearly has a drinking problem, possibly a drug problem. And we've known about it for a while. There was that video, like I said earlier, of Amber Heard and him when he's drunk on wine and whatnot. I mean, this is a person who clearly needs some help. And so Dana Schwartz, instead of saying maybe, Johnny Depp should maybe get some help or something, or find some counseling or whatever, now that he's off, he's off of this movie. No, she's all like, what is Waters thinking? Clutching at the pearls, fainting on the couch, like that's where we are. And I know I just talked about that with James Gunn situation, the right wing pearl clutchers. Now we have the left wing pearl clutchers. Everyone's pearl clutching for no real reason. Warner's is running a business, for one thing. Okay, they're promoting movies. They have these actors in their films. They're not in the same franchise. They weren't on stage together. They're getting shuffled around constantly. Johnny Depp was in full freaking character going out there. So I'm pretty sure as soon as that was over, he's like, get this contact out. Let me go put on some other clothes and let me chill out for a little bit. And then we'll go and do the press stuff. And then we'll go do the autograph stuff. And they do everything else. And I would just also like to kind of end it with this. Dana Schwartz, who works for Entertainment Weekly, is at Comic-Con covering it for, well, maybe I don't know if she's there, but she's definitely like watching it. She knows that these are professionals, that these people are doing a job, that these people are being there as part of their contractual obligation to working on these movies. This is part of that whole thing. So they're going to act professionally. And I'm probably just going to, I'm going to tell you that I'm pretty sure Eddie Ibrahim, the program director of Comic-Con, the dude who's been rocking that shit since 2007. He's been there 11 years now. I've met Eddie a couple times, right? I've been attending Comic-Con. This is the first year I've missed since 2000, by the way. Okay, so I would call a subject matter expert to an extent of what goes on there. And Eddie, I'm pretty sure it's like, okay, if this is going to be a problem, cool. We will have our handlers figure it out. We'll bring his car in. He'll come in. He'll do his thing. He'll go up. She'll come in. There's an hour gap in between. He does his stuff. He's over here. She's over here. Now they're everywhere and they're nowhere near each other. And they're not going to be a problem. So trying to even sit there and remotely bring this political situation, because that's what it is, into this particular event. And even though it was already kind of marred by Zoe Kravitz making a comment about trying to get a spell for impeachment, and Ezra Miller, while cosplaying as Toadette, said that he wanted to end the patriarchy, people were already groaning about that because it's like, this is escapism time. All right. Again, this is escapism time, and they're running they're running around with that narrative. Again, to me, the whole thing is just hysterical. It's ridiculous. But it's where we find ourselves, right? I always feel like we're in the eye of the tornado. Like we're in the eye of the storm, and any way you go, left or right, you're screwed. So you just feel trapped. So thanks a lot for that, Dana. You brought a bunch of nonsense to what a lot of people viewed as a good time and a cool experience. Good for you. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on this one? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Monday Mad channel. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe, check back often for more content from me. And if you want to see more content, you can totally do so right now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month over at patreon.com/mundanemat.